So today I want to share with you what I spent in 1 month on all my subscriptions. Now the first time I've done that, I was actually shocked because it was way more than I thought. I really went through the motion and wrote down every single subscription that I had, things that I even forgot about, and I was really surprised how large the amount was. It was actually well over 400 euros a month that I spent just on subscriptions, and it actually included a lot of services that I didn't even use anymore. So while I go through and show you my monthly subscriptions, the main message for you is to really write them down and be on top of it. Because many times we sign up to something, the amount seems fairly small, a monthly 3-4 euros doesn't really hurt, right? But those expenses do add up over time and obviously come out to quite a big amount. So I think it's super important whenever you sign up to something, have a place where you record this all and then you can stay on top of it. Now there are paid services where you have to link your accounts that they can track your subscriptions for you. But honestly, I always feel a bit uncomfortable with such services because they would then basically know everything about me. For me, it's enough to track it myself. I actually use Notion for it because I can track it on my phone, on my computer, very easy to use, free of charge. So I really love it. But honestly, it doesn't matter what you use. You can use a Word document, Google Sheet, Apple Notes, whatever it is. Honestly, the most important is that you just get into the habit of writing it down. And I'll try to do this every time I have a new subscription or I cancel an old one and go in there and update right away, because otherwise I might just forget about it and then obviously they start piling up. So just do it right then and there. And then on a monthly basis, when I do my month-end closing, so to say, where I go through all my income, expenses, I also look at my subscriptions and then ask myself, is it still worth it? Do I actually still need that service? And if the answer is no, then I go right in there and then I cancel it immediately. Because often it's not really about the money. I mean, those 3, 4, 5 euros, they don't really change the world for you, right? But it's the principle, and those things do add up over time. And I think that's the cool thing about subscriptions. If I don't need it, I cancel it right then and there. And alternatively, if there's a new service that I really appreciate and value, then obviously I sign up with them and put in my sheet and start tracking it as well. So with this, let's dive into my Notion sheet. So actually I have 2 different lists for subscriptions. This is my personal subscription list, but then I also have a second list with all my business related subscriptions. So I try to differentiate those two because the business ones I can obviously later on also tax deduct. So as you can see over here, right now, I pay 149 euros every month on my personal subscriptions, which honestly, I'm really happy with. As I said, it used to be way more, the personal one, over 300 euros in a month. So I'm really happy I trimmed it down. It obviously fluctuates a little bit because some services come and go. You will see in a moment, like Netflix. In winter months, I may subscribe to it. In summer, obviously you're out and about, travel more. So then I unsubscribe. So obviously these subscriptions do fluctuate, but that's why for me, it's so important to track them so I know what I'm spending on. So let's start with the lowest to highest subscription I have in a month. And starting off is 1Password. So that's basically my password manager of choice. It's a small amount actually I pay on an annual basis because it makes it cheaper. And many of the subscriptions you will see obviously are much cheaper if you sign up for 1 year or 2 years and pay right away the entire amount. Obviously comes with a certain risk. You can't then anymore cancel because you're kind of stuck with them for a year. But if it's a service that you really value and appreciate, like I do with 1Password, I've been with them for a number of years and I couldn't live without them anymore. Honestly, for me, it's worthwhile paying because there are also free password managers out there. But I do understand businesses have to generate money. I want to support them. I want them to develop and continue to innovate. And that's why for me, it's worth paying such a small amount. That basically keeps all my passwords safe. I have different passwords for every single account and service I use. So it keeps me really safe and in check. I can use it on my phone, on the go. It's really amazing. And if you haven't used it, definitely check it out. I don't have an affiliate link for it, sadly, but I really love the tool. And you also see over here how I classify it. Obviously the name of it, I put the amount, then the frequency. Most of them are monthly, but then again, obviously some of them are annually as well. But if it's annually, I still divide it into monthly payment, just divided by 12. So I can have obviously the monthly amount that I pay. And then in terms of importance, I also have a list here. Is it a must to have? I really need it. Or is it just a nice to have, but I could live without it? Or is it actually not really needed? So, kind of if I cancel it, it doesn't really hurt so much. So that's why it's good to classify that as well. So you can immediately see, what is really important to you. And then the purpose over here, I also have a few options. Obviously, some of them are utility, such as a password manager. Then I have also finance related subscriptions. I have entertainment related subscriptions, such as Netflix, etc. Things towards my YouTube, I have a few subscriptions there. And of course, health, which is super important for me as well. So these are my main categories, so to say. Next up, we have Google Drive. Now that's obviously Google Cloud Storage. It's only 3 euros a month and gives me, I believe, 100 gigabytes of cloud storage. Even though I'm an Apple fanboy, I'm really in the Apple ecosystem. But in terms of cloud storage, somehow I really prefer using Google over iCloud in terms of working documents because it obviously natively integrates with Google Sheets, Google Docs, etc. So in terms of working with it, it's just easier and I really like it. For all my photos, I have them with Apple and we'll come to this in a second. Next up, we have my F1 TV subscription. Now I'm a huge F1 lover. I watch every single race, even the trainings and qualifyings. I'm really obsessed with F1, not so much with football or other sports, but F1, I really love it and really follow every single race. And once again, if the season is over, I usually end the subscription and during the season, I obviously have it. I think it's really fairly priced. I'm currently paying 52 euros for the entire season and get to watch pretty much anything live from anywhere on my device, on my laptop. I love it, and yeah, it's really worth the money. Obviously, it's not a must to have, that's why I have it here as nice to have, and obviously falls under entertainment. Next up, we have Dividend Watch, which is actually my dividend portfolio tracker of choice. I've tried really a number of them, but I did end up with this tool because it obviously takes immediately my data from my broker of choice into active brokers and pulls in all the data. And with this tool, I can really easily and visually see what are my upcoming dividend payments, how's been my dividend growth over time. So I really love the tool. I'm currently signed up to the monthly plan because in the beginning, I always preferred, going with the monthly plan. If I like something, then usually I end up signing with the annual plan. I will soon change to the annual plan, and then this cost will go down. I believe it's going to be $4.50 or something. So for me, it's really worth it. And obviously right now it's still nice to have. I could live without it, but I really appreciate the tool, and obviously it falls under finance. Next up, we have Spotify. Now, once again, as an Apple lover, I should be using Apple Music, and I tried it many times, but honestly, I just can't get into it. I've been so invested into Spotify ecosystem. I have all my playlists there, so it would just be too cumbersome moving across to Apple Music. And I think honestly, for 7 euros a month, I really appreciate it. I can play it across all my house and all the smart speakers, and it's just really worth it. You could obviously have the free Spotify version with ads, but when you're having friends over and then the ads are playing, for me, it's just not worth it. So I really don't mind paying those 7 euros. The next subscription I have is ExpressVPN, which is the VPN of choice. I've been using them for a number of years now, and honestly, it's 90 euros a year. It's not cheap, but I have been really happy with them ever since. They really helped me unblock all the content when I was living in China, so that's why I really valued them, because in China, so many restrictions in place. I couldn't use, for example, Google or YouTube with them, and for me, it's actually a must to have. I really think you need to use a VPN. You wouldn't believe how easy it is, especially if you're in a coffee shop connecting to public Wi-Fi. People can actually so easily intercept your data and see what you're doing online, and honestly, that should be a worthwhile investment into your privacy online. Then we have my most recent additions to my subscriptions, and that is Seeking Alpha. That's the website I use for all my stock related research, and I really love it. I've been using so many different websites for that, but in the end always kept coming back to Seeking Alpha. You've probably seen me using this tool in other videos, and I just love the simplicity. It gives you enough information, but it's not overwhelming. It really presents it very clearly. It has great articles, and I used to use the free version in the past, but I always found something was missing, and obviously they make it in a way that you end up paying for the premium plan, but I really think it's worth it. And obviously over here, I got a really good deal. They have some special offers in the beginning. So now I paid $99 for the entire year, which turns out to be €7.50. And honestly, my first bank where I bought my first stock a couple of years ago, they actually charged me €10 commission. So honestly, that's actually less than many brokers charge in terms of commission. But if you're really serious about investing, wanting to learn more about stocks, doing better analysis, then I think it's a super powerful tool and definitely worth the money. Then we have my beloved Revolut. As you know, I'm a huge Revolut lover. I use it every single day. I love the app, the interface, it tracks all my expenses, and it's just an amazing platform altogether. I don't use it so much for investing. I started off buying stocks, etc. with it, but now I simply use it for my day-to-day spending with my Revolut card via Apple Pay, and it's just really seamless. So when I travel internationally, I really get the best exchange rate, and that alone is really worth it for me. Currently, I'm signed up to the Revolut Premium plan. They obviously have a free plan, but for me, the Premium is worth it because I do make quite a bit of international transactions, and as I said, travel internationally where I spend in different currencies. So saving on the foreign exchange fees alone is worth the amount for me. So currently I'm paying €8 for it. I'm actually waiting for the Revolut Ultra plan to come out. Hopefully that should be very soon. It probably is going to be more expensive on a monthly basis, but I do hope they offer more things like cashback, etc. So that would be really exciting. And probably if they do come out and I like the benefits, I'll end up upgrading to the Ultra plan. Then we come to my Apple Cloud storage, which is iCloud. I have actually the highest plan, 2 terabytes. And initially I thought, oh my God, 2 terabytes, I'm never going to fill this. And honestly, I'm already at around 1.1 terabyte of all my data, mostly pictures in the cloud, so it's unbelievable. So yeah, those €10 definitely worth it. Whenever I take a picture on my phone, immediately it's sent up to the cloud. I remember a couple of years ago when I lost my phone. I mean, the value of the phone, of course, is sad, but more importantly, I didn't back up my pictures and they were all gone. We just came back from a trip and I lost all the pictures. And for me, that's actually the most sensitive and valuable thing, the data. So paying for it, €120 a year is absolutely worth it. It syncs so nicely, immediately, automatically. I can share the pictures, see all the old pictures. I don't have to clock up my phone because this way I actually end up buying a smaller iPhone with smaller storage because all my pictures are stored in the cloud. I don't need so much storage on my phone. So that actually saves me money as well. Then we have YouTube Premium, which actually costs €11 a month. And honestly, if I could only have one streaming subscription, it would definitely be YouTube Premium. Now on the desktop, you could say you can just install an ad blocker and you can watch YouTube without any ads. And I did that before in the past, but now I'm seeing myself watching a lot of the content on the go when I'm in the gym, listening to some cool podcasts on YouTube or watching some shows. And honestly, there you can't really have an ad blocker blocker, and it was just so annoying having those ads all the time. And the fact that when you pay for YouTube Premium, you can actually listen to a podcast even when your phone is locked. So that little hack alone is worth YouTube Premium for me. And again, those 11 euros, honestly, for me are just worthwhile. You also get YouTube Music with it, I believe, but still I have Spotify in addition. But actually, I could cancel Spotify, just listen to YouTube Music. It's very similar in many ways. But if you don't sign up for it, then that's absolutely fine. Just keep watching my ads. Really helps out the channel a lot and is very much appreciated. Then we have Netflix, where I pay every month 12 euros. And as it says over here, it's actually not really needed, and in many ways a waste of time. I actually only sign up whenever there's a cool show that I really want to watch. I watch it, and then a few weeks later, I'm really done with it. I unsubscribe, and then for a couple of weeks, once again, I'm living happily without Netflix. So it's not something I really need. It's more like on a case-to-case basis. Whenever I want, I sign up for a couple of shows, and then I unsubscribe. That's actually one of the reasons why I don't buy Netflix stock, because I really think it's not sticky enough. It's too easy to get on and off, and you want something that's really hard to unsubscribe. And for me, Netflix just makes it too easy to unsubscribe. It's nice from a user point of view, but I really wouldn't want to invest into Netflix because I just think it's too volatile as a stock. And lastly, my biggest monthly expense is my gym membership, 69 euros a month. Now for the country where I live, it's actually considered expenses. There are other gyms for 25 euros a month, but honestly, it's a really nice gym. It makes me happy going there. It's clean, it's amazing, nice people. So for me, it's definitely worthwhile. At the same time, people in London, Paris, other places, some people end up spending 300 euros a month. And honestly, if I had to, I probably would, because I always say health is the ultimate wealth, and I definitely want to focus on my health going forward. So spending such a little amount, for me, it's insignificant compared to what other people spend on doctors, hospitals, all the problems they might have later on if they haven't taken care of their health. So that's a fraction of the cost for keeping me healthy, energized. So for me, that's definitely a must-have, an amount I don't question. Whatever it will be, I will always allocate money towards my health and gym membership. So there you have it, all my subscriptions. Currently I have 12, altogether 149 euros a month. Now with this, let's jump over to my business related subscriptions. So as you can see over here, in total I have 7 subscriptions, which come to around 157 euros a month. And the first one is TubeBuddy, which is a great tool for all my YouTube research, finding keywords and video ideas, etc. So I really like the tool. It's only 4 euros a month, but definitely if you're serious about content creation on YouTube, a great, powerful tool. Next up, we have my Genius Link Creator with 5 euros a month. That's a tool I use for all my affiliate links. Basically, when you see in my video descriptions below, you will see some links with the Genius ID. Basically, that links to an Amazon shop. So whenever somebody clicks on the link, it takes them to their respective country's Amazon store. So if you come, for example, from Germany and you click on a link from Amazon to the US store, and you would end up buying something, I wouldn't get commission. But using a Genius Link, it would automatically understand where's your IP address. And if you're from Germany, it would send you to the German Amazon store, for example. Likewise, if you come from the UK, it would send you to the UK Amazon store so I can get the commission. Otherwise, if you're not from the country where you put the link, just the usual Amazon link, you would actually lose a lot of commission. So for me, it's a really interesting tool. Obviously, as the traffic starts picking up, there will be a nice payback on this investment. Next up, we have my Google Workspace. Basically, for your professional business, you don't want to have an email called @gmail.com, but you want to have your professional business @thatbusiness.com. And then obviously you have all the professional Google tools with that. Honestly, it only costs 6 euros. So if you're serious about growing your business, it really makes sense. And honestly, those 6 euros are definitely worth it. Then we have Canva Pro. Obviously, Canva has a free plan as well, but Canva Pro is absolutely worth it for me as I really use it for pretty much most of my designs. It's such a simple tool. I used to force myself to learn Photoshop and Illustrator, but honestly always struggled with it. And now Canva is getting better all the time. They added AI functionality to it, and I use Canva for all my designs, my thumbnails, etc. So I really couldn't live without it. So yeah, those 950 actually I pay on an annual basis, 115 euros. Absolutely worth it for me. Then we have Beacons, which is a cool tool. Basically, like you see on Instagram and other websites, where you can only put one link, like Linktree, etc. You see that probably online many times. And then you can press on that link, and that takes you to a website, mobile friendly, where you can have all your various videos, affiliate links, things you sell. So really, really powerful tool, all in one solution. Honestly, at 10 euros a month, it's still cheaper than building a whole website on Wix or Squarespace. So it's very simple to use. When you click on the link in the description below, where it says all my tools and contacts, which is basically the website links.smartmoneywithkai.com, that will take you to my Beacons website. Next up, we have Ecamm, which is actually the tool I'm using right now to record all my videos. I used to do it manually, just record into the camera, then take out the SD card, put it in my laptop, then overlay it with a screen share, and it would just take hours just to kind of match it all up and synchronize it. Now with Ecamm, I basically record right away. It's on my computer. I can do different arrangements, picture in picture. I can live stream. It's really a tool. Honestly, it's so worthwhile, especially if you're a content creator or you want to live stream. I really, really love it, and it's absolutely worth the money. And last lastly, we have High Level, which is an amazing platform which I actually use to build my own SaaS model, software as a service. And it's a really, really powerful platform that keeps developing. There's so much I could say about it, but basically that's the engine that's going to power my future business venture. Altogether, what I spent in a month on all my subscriptions is just above 300 euros. Obviously, as I said, it fluctuates. Sometimes it's a bit less, sometimes it's a bit more, but right now I'm happy with the amount. But ultimately, once again, the message of this video is make sure you track, because if you can't measure it, you can't manage it. If you don't know how much you spend, you're probably easily overspending. And that way, by knowing how much I spend, I know how much I earn. I can then understand how much I have to invest every single month. As you know, I'm a big believer in regularly investing and obviously paying yourself first and then using that amount to grow your net worth over time. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a like, subscribe to the channel. It means the world to me. Next up, check out this video over here, which YouTube thinks is worthwhile to watch. Stay healthy, get wealthy, and I see you in the next one. Ciao.